Yes, hello students. So today we will be discussing our next chapter, that is your whole numbers. So first of all, we will be discussing about what are the whole numbers and what are the different concepts that we are going to learn in this chapter. Okay, so let's move on. So what are the whole numbers? We have already know what are the natural numbers. Natural numbers are the numbers that starts from the 1. Now what are the whole numbers? Whole numbers are the numbers that starts from 0 and goes to the infinite level. Okay, so natural numbers were the numbers that starts from 1 and whole numbers are the numbers that starts from 0. And which is the smallest whole number? If it is being asked in the question, the smallest whole number is your 0. Clear? Now in this chapter, first of all, your topic is successor and predecessor. You know very well what are the successor and what are the predecessor, but I am just giving the brief introduction about them. Clear? So what are the successors? Successors are the number just after a given number. Okay, and what are the predecessor? Predecessors are the numbers just before a given number. Okay, so if you add 1 to a given number, what you get? You get the successor. But if you add if you subtract 1 from the given number, what you get? You get the predecessor. Okay, so let's take an example. If I am having the number 72,958, so what will its successor? Its successor means the number after it. Okay, so what will be the number after it? That is 72,959. Clear? And if I talk about the predecessor of the same number, so what will be its predecessor? The number before it. So what is the number before it? The number before it is 72,957. Clear? So what are the successors? Successors means you are going to add 1 to the given number, and predecessor means what? You are going to subtract 1 from the given number. Okay? So let's move on to the next topic. Students, before starting with the exercise, just discuss about the properties of the whole numbers. Okay, the very first two properties that we are going to discuss are your closure property and the commutative property. I think this thing is new for you. Okay, being a class 6 student, these things are new to you. These properties are new to you. Okay, so first of all, we will be discussing about closure property. कि closure property है क्या? So closure property, इट मीन्स अगर आप दो होल नंबर्स को ऐड कर रहे हो, दो नंबर्स को सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हो, दो नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हो, दो नंबर्स को आप डिवाइड कर रहे हो, तो आंसर आपका क्या आ रहा है? दोबारा एक होल नंबर ही आ रहा है. इट मीन्स वट एवर ऑपरेशन यू आर गोइंग टू परफॉर्म ऑन द होल नंबर्स, अल्टीमेटली योर आंसर विल बी अ होल नंबर ओनली. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? कि कोई भी ऑपरेशन आप परफॉर्म कर लो होल नंबर्स के ऊपर, एट लास्ट आपका आंसर क्या आएगा? आपका आंसर क्या आएगा? एक होल नंबर ही आएगा. I think this is clear. Okay, the next property is your commutative property. It means you can change the order of the numbers whenever you are performing any operation on the whole numbers. Clear? We will be discussing these two properties with the help of some examples. Okay, so first of all, closure property for the addition. Clear? Let's suppose we are having the two whole numbers 2 and 3. When you add them, what you are getting? 5. 2 is also a whole number, 3 is also a whole number, and your answer is also a whole number. Clear? It means if you are adding two whole numbers, you are getting your result as a whole number only. Okay. Now let's check for the subtraction. Let's suppose you are having the two whole numbers 5 and 3. When you subtract them, what you get? You get 2. So the result is again what? That is a whole number. Clear? Now let's take the case of the multiplication. Let's suppose you are having 3 and 2. If you multiply 3 and 2, what you get? You get your 6. It means again, if you are performing the multiplication operation on the whole numbers, you are getting your answer as a whole number only. Now let's check for the division, whether it is true for the division or not. Let's suppose we are having the two whole numbers 2 and 3. And if you divide them, what you are getting? Yes, what you are getting? Are you getting a whole number? 2 divided by 3 is 2 upon 3, and when you are going to solve it, your answer will be in the decimal form or in the fraction it will be. So it is a whole number? No, it is not a whole number. It means closure property is true. Closure property of whole numbers is true. ये true है. किस किस cases में true है? It is true in the case of your addition, subtraction and the multiplication, but it is not true in the case of your division. Whenever you are going to divide the two whole numbers, it is not like that your answer will be in the form of the whole number only. Okay, so your closure property means if you are performing any operation on the whole numbers, ultimately your answer will be in the whole number form. ठीक है. If you are multiplying two whole numbers, you are getting whole number. If you are adding two whole numbers, you are getting whole number. If you are subtracting two whole numbers, you are getting a whole number. But when you are dividing the two whole numbers, you are not getting your answer as a whole number form. It can be in the form of the fraction. It can be in the form of the decimal. Okay, but it is not confirmed. It is not. We are not sure about this thing that our answer will be in the form of the whole number form only. Now the next property is your commutating property. That is a very interesting property in case of your whole numbers. Okay, so let's move on. Commutative property means, what is the meaning of this commutative? Commutative means you can change the order of the numbers whenever you are performing any operation on them. You can change, you can swap the numbers as per your convenience. Okay, it means if you are adding two whole numbers, if you are changing the order of them, your result will be same. So let's check whether it is true for your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division or not. Okay, so commutative property, I have said, it means if I am talking about the addition, a plus b is equals to b plus a. Clear? So let's take two whole numbers, that is your 3 and 2. And here we had changed the order of the numbers, that is your 2 plus 3. So in both the cases, what you are getting? You are getting your answer as 5. It means change of the order of the numbers is possible in case of our addition. Clear? So it is true for your addition. Clear? Now check for the subtraction, whether a minus b is equals to b minus a. Again, take two whole numbers, that is, suppose I had taken 3 and 2. Here I had changed the order of the numbers. Now tell me whether we are getting the same result both sides. Not at all. We are not getting the same result both sides. ठीक है, हमारे आंसर्स क्या हैं? Our answers are different. Here 3 minus 2 is what? 1. And यहाँ पे 2 minus 3 क्या हो गया? -1. So it means commutative property is false in case of your subtraction. Now let's check for the multiplication also, whether a multiplied by b is equals to b multiplied by a. So takes two whole numbers, 2 and 3 I had taken. You had changed the order of them. So both sides, what you are getting? You are getting 6 and 6. It means change of the order of the numbers is possible in case of your multiplication. It means your commutative property is true in case of your multiplication. Now let's check for the division, whether a divided by b is equals to b divided by a. Take two whole numbers, 10 and 2. When you change the order of them, it becomes 2 divided by 10. Now 10 divided by 2 is what? 10 divided by 2 is your 5. And 2 divided by 10 is what? 1 upon 5. Are they equal? Not at all. So from these examples, what you are getting? You are getting this thing that commutative property is true only in case of your addition and for your multiplication. But your commutative property false किस cases में है? ये false है आपके subtraction में भी और आपके division में भी. इन दोनों cases में आपकी जो commutative property है वो क्या है? False है. ठीक है, commutative property आपकी true है addition के केस में और multiplication के केस में, but false किसके केस में है? Division and subtraction. It means we can't change the order of the numbers in case of our subtraction and the division. Clear? Now let's move on to the next property, that is your associative property. Associative property. Now what is the meaning of this associative? Associative means you can group the numbers as per your convenience. Okay, you can group the numbers as per your convenience. See how? If I say a plus b, if I am grouping a and b, okay, and this side if I am grouping b and c, then what happened? My result should be same. Okay, associative property means we can group the numbers in any order as per our convenience. अब हमें चेक क्या करना है? हमें चेक करना है कि whether it is true for addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. ठीक है, so one by one check करते हैं. First for the addition, let's suppose we are having three whole numbers, 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4. So here what we had done, यहाँ पे हमने किसको कंबाइन किया है? 2 and 3 को. एंड यहाँ पे हमने किसको कंबाइन किया है? 3 and 4 को. So see, 2 plus 3 is what? And one more thing, as per our BODMAS rule हमें क्या पता है कि सबसे पहले ब्रैकेट्स को सॉल्व करना है. तो ब्रैकेट्स में यहाँ क्या गिवन है? 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3 is what? 2 plus 3 is our 5. And here in between the brackets, what we are having? 3 and 4. So first of all, we have to solve our 3 and 4. So in both the cases, we are getting 9 and 9. So it means our associative property is true in case of your addition. In case of the addition, we can group the numbers as per our convenience in any of the order. Clear? Now, let's check for the subtraction. We are going to check whether A minus B minus C is same as A minus B minus C. Clear? So let's take 3 whole numbers. I had taken here 10, 5 and 3. Clear? So here I had combined 10 and 5 and here I am going to combine 5 and 3. So 10 minus 5 is what? 5. 5 minus 3. And here 5 minus 3 is what? 2. So here I am getting our answer as 2 and here I am getting my answer as 8. Are they equal? Not at all. It means our associative property is false in case of the subtraction, but it is true in the case of our addition. Clear? Now let's check for the multiplication whether our associative property is true for the multiplication or not. It is true for the addition. It is false for the subtraction. Now we have to check whether it is true for the multiplication or not. Again, I had combined here A and B and here I had combined B and C. Let's take the 3 whole numbers. Again, I had taken here 2, 3 and 4. Now, as per our BODMAS rule, what we have to do? We have to solve the brackets first of all. Okay, so 2 3s is what? 6. 6 multiplied by 4. Here, 3 4s is what? 12. In both the cases, what you are getting? We are getting our answer as same. It means our associative property is true in case of our multiplication. Now, we are having the 2. It is true for the addition as well as for the multiplication. But it was false for the subtraction. Now, let's check for the division whether it is true for the division or not. Clear? Again, I am taking here the 3 whole numbers. Let's suppose the 3 whole numbers here are. Now we are going to check for the division. Clear? Let's suppose the 3 whole numbers are 10 divided by 5. Suppose I had taken and it is your 2. Clear? Now here it is 10, 5 divided by 2. If you solve this, what you get? 10 divided by 5 is what? 2. Okay? So 2 divided by 2. And here what I am getting? 10 divided by 5 by 2. So from here only you can check the two sides are not at all equal. It will be 1. It will be 10 multiplied by 2 by 5. That is equals to what? 1 equals to 4. So these two sides are not equal. It means our associative property is false in case of the division. So our associative property is true for the addition and for the multiplication, but it is false for the subtraction and the division. Clear? It is false for the subtraction and the division. It means we can't club the number as per our convenience in case of the subtraction and the division. Clear? Now let's move on to the next property, that is your distributive property. Now the next property is your distributive property. What is the meaning of this distributive property? Distribute means what? To divide something. The same concept will be applied for your distributive property for the subtraction and the distributive property for the addition. Here it is given multiplication is distributive over subtraction and multiplication is distributive over addition. It means in case of the subtraction, how we can write? We can write A multiplied by B minus C. It is A equals to AB minus AC. Clear? And for the addition, it is A multiplied by B plus C, that is AB plus AC. From these two statements, what we are getting? We are getting this thing, multiplication is distributive over subtraction and the addition. Whenever we will be doing the questions based on these, the things will be more clear to you. Okay.